And Reggie Edwards, the Front Row Report. I am joined tonight, by the man Manafest. And I just had a chance to listen to The Moment, man. The album's awesome, dude. You guys did a killer job. You knocked it out of the park with this one.
Oh, cool, man. Thanks, dude. Super stoked, man. It's only been a couple days, so it's good to hear the feedback from everyone and stuff. So, yeah, man, thank you.
Absolutely. One thing I love about you is that you never make the same album twice in a row. Every album sounds different from record to record. The Moment sounds very different from Fighter. Was that a conscious decision for you guys, and how important is it for you to do that?
Yeah, when you switch producers and, just work with different teams, they pull certain things out of you, and it wasn't a purposeful thing, but I knew it was going to be different just because I'm working with someone completely, new, and I've grown too, and I'm glad that you said that, because I don't want to make a record that sounds the same. I want it to sound like I'm growing, but not being stretched too far out of my comfort zone.
Right, absolutely, and with Fighter, to me it sounded a lot more rock based. With The Moment, you kind of mold the two sounds together, because yourself, you have a lot of hip hop and rap background, and this record, The Moment, has both sounds. How special is it to you to revisit those sounds and that background from time to time?
Yeah, you nailed it right on the head, man. And it's important to mesh them, and it's a certain way that you got to go about it when you're doing hip hop and rock. And I felt like Fighter was a little posing. It was just a little, it was definitely way more of a rock-driven record. And I don't think there's any hip hop styles at all. Maybe with Human there was a bit. Yeah. But I felt with The Moment, it's definitely more of a mix and more of a variety. And I felt like I'm just really more honest. Musically and lyrically, and just with everything that I'm doing on this one.
Awesome. With all of your records, there's always a theme, not just behind the title, but behind all of the songs, especially lyrically. With Fighter, it was a very obvious theme, and with The Moment, I know that there's a lot of story and theme behind this record. Can you tell me a little bit about what The Moment represents?
Yeah, the concept behind that song, and it doesn't necessarily theme throughout the whole album, but just a general statement, is just about that life is made up of a lot of different moments, whether it was your first kiss, your first time coming to know Jesus, job, playing on stage for the first time, and I just feel like we all need to step back and be present in the moments and enjoy those, like I'm not Instagramming or texting right now. You got my full attention. I'm here. And I just feel like in the society we're in right now, we need to kind of step back and appreciate where we're at. I'm big on setting dreams and going for goals, but at the same time, you got to, love where you're at right now and appreciate that and be present.
Awesome. The record obviously starts with the title track, and from the very beginning, you can tell that it's going to be a really powerful record. Writing this one, what was that process like for you? Because you always take a good 2 years or so in between releases, and writing is a very, very important aspect of the process for you. You never put out something that's kind of halfway. It's always very, very full on. What was writing this one like for you?
Well, it was it was a process. I don't ever want to wait that long again to do another record. 2 years, I wasn't sleeping. We did release a book last year, and we did 2 singles. But I just think where music is at and where fans are at, and just how people consume music nowadays, you need to deliver stuff more frequently, because it just people are just kind of cherry picking now, and it's important though that it is quality. This is the first record that I wrote when I knew I was going to be having a daughter, so that was a new thing. So, I was kind of thinking legacy a little bit with the theme in the back of my head, and making sure that I really go all out for this, because, I got to provide, I got to crush it. And again, I just want to, speak to people with my music, and patience was a big one too on this one, and getting the songs right and not rushing it, because sometimes you can just be satisfied and like, that's good enough. I guess they'll buy it, they'll like it, as opposed to, digging for something deeper.
Right, like you said, people people nowadays really cherry pick a lot. Is how important is it to you to still put out, a full record that's from beginning to end, full of strong songs with really no filler in there? Has there ever been a point where you thought about just releasing singles?
Well, there's a Sum 41 quote I like. I don't know if it's their album title or whatever, but it's like all killer, no filler. And I think for any artist that wants to have a long-standing career, you can't be just putting out mediocre stuff. I think every song needs to be great. It doesn't mean it has to be necessarily a single for radio, but I think there has to be something really special that touches people, because, the record's been out a couple days, and already you're seeing which ones are really hitting and which ones aren't. And I'm actually getting a nice broad, theme for all of them. So I'm kind of getting good feedback, knowing, yes, I did that, and it wasn't just, the one good song on the record and the rest is junk,
Right. And you never know which songs are going to actually really affect somebody's life. A lot of times it's songs that you never would have thought would hit somebody, but they hit close to home, and then you hear about that stuff. Like for me, with you, it's Impossible and Human are probably the two that, from the recent years, because I've been following you since Epiphany with Skills. Yeah, I remember when. Yeah, so it's for me, it's been really cool to see the growth and to see you get to the level that you have. But you never know which songs are really going to affect somebody. So to me, it's always important for artists to release those full records, because you never know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you said, you released a book to go along with Fighter. How did that come about, and how did that measure up and live up to any expectations you might have had for that? Was it harder than you thought it was going to be?
Yeah, it's a completely different thing, writing a book, as opposed to, writing music. I really enjoyed it. Just like a band would hire a producer to produce the songs to make them better and produce the record, I hired a co-writer to kind of take everything that I'd written down and make it better, make it flow, challenge me, help, kind of conceptualize things a little bit more. And it took the writing to another level. It challenged me huge. Books have changed my life. I'm a bit of a book nerd and just really impacted. So I just felt like I was finally at a point where I could give back and share and really maybe help other people too,
Nice. Is that something that you might do with The Moment? Because just like with Fighter, like we talked about earlier, The Moment has a very powerful meaning behind it. And there's with releasing a book, it's almost like you could expand and talk more about what's behind that. Is that something you might thought you might entertain somewhere down the line?
Yeah, it's definitely an idea. I've thought about it a little bit. It's just making sure that it's, I don't want to just do it because, but, when you write a book or something, it's like, I want to make sure you're really fulfilling a need and answering a problem with it, and have something special to say as opposed to just putting it out. And so, definitely got more books in me, I think, but it's just deciding what I feel passionate about to write about,
Awesome. You talked about it a little bit ago, but with it just being 2 days since The Moment released, what has the feedback been? Because nowadays with social media, Facebook, Twitter, the internet, you hear almost immediately what fan feedback is from everything. Whereas back in the day, sometimes you would wait forever, just sometimes not know what the fan feedback was till you went on tour. Sometimes. And you've been around long enough to really see that development and that transition happen. But how is the fan?
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
The feedback has been actually really great. You do get instant feedback right away, and I feel like with social media and stuff, people are very honest these days. People are not afraid to share their opinion, and I'm really thankful that it's actually been really, really positive, and because it wasn't, I'll be honest, it wasn't as good feedback as Fighter. When I released Chase, I remember specifically No Plan B kind of really blowing up, and then Avalanche, and I'm kind of starting to see that with Cage right now, Criminal, and what's the other one, Edge of My Life. So I'm seeing a pattern right now, and so I feel like I might have done the right thing. So more time will tell. Sales numbers will tell.
Exactly. For me, "Bull in a China Shop" is one of the songs that really stands out on the record. I mean, obviously,
Cool.
like you said, "Cage" and "Criminal" and "Edge of My Life." "Edge of My Life" has a completely different sound from anything that was on Fighter or The Chase. It's very, very different. To me, it was a bit of a surprise, and it's a really cool song. But you also brought Trevor back on for this record. You didn't use him on Fighter, but with The Moment, you got Trevor from House of a Crutch on Diamonds, and that's a relationship that goes way back for you. What was at what point did you decide to bring him back on for this one?
Well, working with Joel, who's in the band with him together, there's obviously the close relationship there, and me and Trevor already had our relationship, so it just made sense. It's very easy for us to collaborate and make music. We're just on the same page when it comes to that stuff, and
Right.
so it was really just natural. But speaking of Edge of My Life, I was working with producer Adam Messenger, and I've worked with him since 2001, and he's produced Magic, Chris Brown,
Nice.
Justin Bieber, all that stuff. So he's just got that pop flair that's just dynamite, and really just knows how to really bring it. And that was the last song recorded on the record.
Oh, nice. So looking forward, now that the record's released, obviously there's, like you said, you're headed to a show. What are the tour plans looking like and shaping up for this cycle so far?
Yeah, I got a bunch of shows. Not trying to kill myself anymore and be on the road. I got a daughter, and
Right.
want to really have balance in my life. I've kind of lived in both worlds, and I'm in California now, and I really enjoy where I live, and family, and Bible study, and surfing, and just friends and stuff. And so just a lot of people just don't understand the lifestyle of touring and stuff. And they see the stage, they see the stuff, but they don't see the sacrifice all the time, and what you're giving up. And I don't even want to really say that because it sounds like I'm complaining or it's not right, because it is wonderful and you get to see the world and stuff. But there's just I think a balance that needs to be in place that just isn't there. There wasn't there for me for a while, and I'm really glad that I'm kind of teetering back the other way, so I can just enjoy. I really believe God wants us to enjoy our life and have it more abundantly, and I feel like I want to eat some of that fruit.
Exactly. I mean, now that you're a father, I mean, how is that? Like you said, most fans don't really understand what artists and bands really go through being on the road when they have families. Now that you're a father, how is that really going to change maybe your tour schedule, or your writing schedule and stuff like that, to give fans a really good idea about where you're at with that?
Well, what I'd love to do is I'd love to figure out how to get more live shows from home, and set up a cool room, and I don't know, just do some really cool stuff and broadcast shows, as long as it's done right from home, and that way the whole world can see it. Because it's funny, this band I love, I bought their records, I've never seen them perform live before, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so it's interesting, you can serve so many people, actually even potentially more people online than even just jet-setting it around the road. So I'd love to figure that out. I did a Google Hangouts last week, and I screwed it up, and so it didn't work, and it was supposed to go on the replay and broadcast it to YouTube, but it only ended up having the 10 people that were in it, so I got to redo it. But we had hundreds of people that were on, wanting to get in and whatever, but it's just another way to serve people. So I look forward to doing that with also performing live and playing shows and flying it, because, we love seeing places.
Awesome. Yeah, it's going to be really cool to see everything that happens with this record. And Chris, man, I want to thank you so much for taking time to talk to me tonight. It's been great. And I got to tell you, man, off the record, like I said, I've been following you since Epiphany and Skills and back in those days, and it's been so cool to see where things have gotten with you. And Fighter was one of my favorite records because it was so honest, but as soon as that came out and the touring ended with that, I have just been watching almost every day waiting for The Moment to come out. And it's
cool, man.
finally out, and I love it. And
cool.
Man, So, man, thank you for always making good music, and it's been so cool to see everything that's been happening. Also, thank you for staying true to everything you believe. So many artists kind of drop off and fall off with that after so long. And it's great to see it, man. So
cool. Well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the support and taking the time, man, and for spreading the word. I appreciate it so much.
Absolutely, man. Hopefully, we'll see you out on the road sometime this year, next year. So.
Yeah, dude, definitely. Yeah, it'd be great to meet up for sure.
Absolutely, man. Take it easy and good luck with the show tonight, and congratulations on the family and all that.
All right, thank you so much, man.
You bet. We'll see you.
All right, God bless.